Well, when you think of environmental activists, you probably think of the Sierra Club or Greenpeace. But some argue the U.S. military is becoming the greenest of them all. A new breed of so-called Greenhawks may be leading the way to our energy independence.
Colonel Dan Nolan remembers the day in 2006 when the Marines in Iraq requested a hybrid electric power station.
And I looked at it and I said, well, when did our Marines become Birkenstock-wearing tree huggers?
Nolan was an advisor at the time and soon realized why the Marines wanted to save gas.
It was because the most dangerous thing to do in the Anbar province at that time was drive 5 gallons of diesel out to a border site on the Syrian border to power up the generators for the electronics.
Since then, Colonel Nolan, a Bay Area resident, has been spreading the message that green is the most patriotic color of all.
I believe this isn't a Democrat, it's not a Republican issue, it's an American issue, and we need to take a stand.
Base commanders are already under orders to find ways to conserve, with plug-in electric cars at Fort Bliss, Texas, and solar panels at Ascension Air Base in the South Pacific.
And really what we're doing is we're air conditioning the desert.
Nolan appears in a new documentary that features innovations like covering tents with a hard foam, making them a lot easier to cool.
So we're actually saving soldiers' lives, giving a more comfortable place to stay, and saving money and saving the environment all in that one fell swoop.
None other than General James Mattis, the newly installed head of Central Command at MacDill, demanded unleash us from the tether of fuel.
I deployed to Iraq in 2003 with the 1st Armored Division.
Former Army Specialist Robin Eckstein drove fuel trucks across Iraq. The slow, thin-skinned vehicles are favorite targets in Iraq and Afghanistan.
I did lose some comrades over there, unfortunately. If there's one thing...
Now Eckstein is joining other veterans who support a comprehensive energy bill that would reduce the flow of American dollars to oil-rich countries.
And the fact that when we go to the gas pump, that I'm helping to fund terrorists that are firing back at my, friends over in Iraq and Afghanistan, it's just completely unacceptable.
The amount of money we were spending on fuel in the Middle East and where that money was going prompted the former head of the CIA, James Woolsey, to say this is the first time since the Civil War that America has funded both sides of the conflict.
The Pentagon has also identified global warming as a threat to our national security, citing the floods in Pakistan that put thousands of refugees on the move.
They're not going to go to the west Afghanistan, and to the east is India. You now have the potential for conflict of 2 nuclear-armed neighbors.
The urgency is not shared at all levels of the military. A bureaucracy this big doesn't change quickly. But Nolan believes a groundswell of support for alternative energy is growing.
There's an awful lot of folks that are coming back from having fought wars over oil who want to see a change.
Nolan works for a local company called Capture Energy Solutions. They're building solar and geothermal power systems at bases across the country. He believes the military's enormous buying power will speed the advancement of alternative energy technology for the private sector.